Shin splints would be one of the most frustrating problems to have as a runner. But what are they? How do we get them? And more importantly, how do we fix them? Stick around, you'll find out. Shin splints refers to pain that typically runners suffer from running down the fronts of their shins from excessive running or repetitive use. A lot of the time people think that shin splints is just pure bony damage or bone stress, in which case you just need to take time off running and let it heal. That's only in the minority of cases. The majority of cases of shin splints and shin pain from running typically comes from a specific type of running pattern, heel strike running. Now what I mean by that is when you swing your leg through when you're running and your heel lands first, that's called a heel strike pattern. And then you rock over your foot to propel you forwards. When you run with this pattern, you're actually overloading a muscle that runs down the front of your shin, which causes shin splint type symptoms. The muscle is your tibialis anterior, comes from the top of your shin, runs all the way down the front of your shin bone, and then actually attaches into the top of your foot, and it pulls your foot up. When you use that muscle eccentrically, or when it's lengthening out, it controls that lowering down of your foot. So with a heel strike pattern of running, your heel doesn't just land on the floor and then slap your foot down. That tibialis anterior muscle actually very quickly controls your foot going down, so it's not a complete slap onto the ground. Running in this pattern can overload that muscle that much to a point where you start getting severe pain down through the front of your shins. How do we fix this? We want to start looking at the way that you run and see if we can change your running pattern. Let's head over to the treadmill. Having a heel strike running pattern is one of the biggest causes of shin splints. This is what it looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like with a heel strike pattern. Let's show you the opposite. This is a forefoot or midfoot pattern of running. How do we then change going from a heel striking pattern to a forefoot striking pattern? This next drill is one of the best exercises that you can use to train yourself how to go from a heel strike to a forefoot pattern. It's easiest if you get a treadmill, that way you can change and vary your speeds as you're developing along the way. What you want to do is learn how to articulate your foot. What I mean by that is learn how to put the ball of your foot down first and roll down to your heel and then back off as soon as your heel hits the ground. So ball of your foot down, roll down to the heel, ball of the foot back off. So you start just by stepping, roll it forwards, roll it forwards. Okay, so the knee goes forwards as the heel comes up. And if you bring some arms into it, almost like you're marching on the spot, rolling down, ball of the foot, and then tapping the heel back off. And then what you want to do is start by bringing it into a little jog, a little bit of a lift. Now, why is this drill handy to do on a treadmill? You can start very, very slow. Then as the speed of the treadmill increases, that creates a bit more hip extension and hip drive, which then turns it into your forefoot running pattern. So we'll start very slow. So we're on the spot, slowly bring the speed up. So I'm still just focusing on knee forwards and lifting my heel up, placing the ball of my foot down, and then as the heel taps, I'm rocking back off. Then what you'll notice is if I keep that pattern of moving as the speed slowly ramps up, I'm not changing anything, other than the speed. All right, so I'm still focusing on ball of the foot down first, let the heel tap, knee goes forwards as the heel lifts up. And then all of a sudden you've changed from that heel strike pattern where your foot's landing out in front, rolling through your whole foot after your heel lands, to now springing off the forefoot and actually being able to engage through that calf. So there you go, shin splints related to running, and specifically that of a heel strike pattern, and then also one of the best drills that you can use to change from a heel strike pattern into a forefoot strike pattern of running. It is worth mentioning, if you do try and change your running pattern, you are likely going to be using muscles that you haven't felt before from your running, specifically that of through your calf. If you start to develop issues from it, purely from overload because you haven't used them like this before, it's very important to go and see a physiotherapist or a health professional to get on top of it very quickly. In the meantime, it's also very important to try and build up the strength of those calf muscles, and I'll put a link in from one of our calf strengthening videos in the bottom of this description. Good luck.